Beech. I'm representing myself today. I'm representing all the kids here and all the parents and the grandparents. Representative Allen, I agree with your point that every individual should protect themselves. And I heard several other people say this, that why should I put my kid up to that? What kind of, if you look at what's in those, when they're trying to protect the patients, what are those doctors wearing? Are they wearing those air loop masks? Or are they wearing a zoot suit? Completely covered with their own air supply. Okay, you have, these kids are in class about 6, 7 hours a day. Where are they at the rest of the day? Are they wearing the mask the rest of the day? No, I don't think so. You can't control kids are that small. It's like herding cats. And let me tell you something else. Our Constitution, the first 10 amendments, are individual rights. They don't say rights of the group. They're individual rights. The same thing. Thomas Hobbes said, he was a famous philosopher, that kind of was one of the ideologists that kind of helped develop our Constitution. He said that every individual is responsible for their own choices. He said that every individual is also responsible for the consequences of those choices. He did not say that the group is, that you're in other words, if you're going to be saved by Jesus, you have to make that decision. It's a personal, an individual choice. Your preacher can't do it, your mama can't do it, and your daddy can't do it. This is an individual choice. And I guarantee that the parents that I've talked to, they'll tell you the same thing. If you haven't been watching, something like YouTube, and some of the YouTube videos of the parents that are standing in front of the school boards and demanding that they at least have a voice and they're being arrested before they can even speak. And the school board is doing what they want to. Do you trust the school board? Do you trust the group? Let me tell you something, it's called a democracy, and we are not a democracy, folks. We are a constitutional republic. And each individual has those rights. Your rights are protected, your rights are protected, my rights are protected. It doesn't matter what the group wants, it's what your rights are. And I can tell you right now, across over here at the Children's Hospital, they have a bigger problem with RSV than they do with the COVID right now. I asked the governor yesterday in the news conference. I said, Governor, you're the head of the Governors Association, aren't you? He said, yes. I said, what? Can you tell me what the governor, what you're doing and that association is doing to try to mitigate that open borders down here? We have people coming across the border wide open. They're not vaccinated, not checked, or anything else. And they're seen all across the United States. And people in those communities don't even know they're in. They just show up. You see them here in Arkansas, in the restaurants, between here and Texas, and they're stopping off. And believe me, you think that virus is going to stop here in Arkansas? You think it's going to stop in Texas as soon as they cross the border? How come we're not closing the border down and telling them to, how long did we quarantine people here in the United States? 10 to 14 days? This stuff is asymptomatic. You've got people, they're separating down the border saying, you look sick, we're going this line. Well, what about all those people that slept with and swear, and they actually shared water bottles with all the way up here? And they're showing, and they're asymptomatic right now. How do you know that they're not infected? They're not testing, folks. You know, I love Julie Mayberry to death. She's one of my favorite ones. But on this issue, I'm going to say you can't control kids. You're not going to control the virus. You're going to be raising cats. All I'm going to say, finish this up with, is I want you to consider you're responsible for your own personal choices and your children's choices, your family choices. Nobody else can do that for you. And nobody else should have that responsibility. And some people may say, there's a school board, we vote them in to make those choices. Not necessarily. We vote them in to make certain choices, but not choices of our lives, not choices of our freedom, not choices of our liberties. And we finish up. Viruses will come and go. Liberties are forever gone if you lose them. Do not give those up. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.